Normally, I may let the Auditor General's report slide. Well, maybe not slide, but I'd hardly go to the trouble of doing a blog on it. Maybe a few Facebook posts, a couple of tweets. I'd whine a little bit at the next chamber event, but here comes the Auditor General's report of 2015. Now, I've been around the horn for a while. I've seen many auditors report, but none even remotely close to this one. It would seem that Bonnie Lysyk is a member of the opposition, but she's not. You might think she's reading only the headlines of the newspaper every day, but the reality is she's the one who gets access to everything to do with government operations and then must report on it. Well, it's quite clear she was aghast at the mismanagement and incompetence of the Ontario Liberal government. Frankly, she's absolutely correct. The problem is there's so much wrong with this province and government, we almost need to wipe the slate clean and start over. Unfortunately for Ms. Wynne, she will probably go down as the worst premier the province of Ontario has ever had. She leads a government that, when questioned, gives the standard non-answer and basically says, "Never you mind, we know exactly what we're doing." Yet, as Ms. Lysyk pointed out this past week in her report, they have absolutely no idea what they are doing. Folks, you've overpaid $37 billion for your hydro in the last 8 years. $37 billion. You're paying for the most expensive hydro generation in the country with the poorest level of service in the country. And after 11 or 12 years of governing, I bet they're still blaming their predecessors all the way back to poor Mr. Bob Rae. And for our interest at the Chamber, the sickening part is the economic development side. Of the $1.45 billion in grants, economic development and employment support funding, the money that's given to companies to get them to move to Ontario or stay here, 80% of it has gone to companies who were invited to apply and never got publicly posted. Lysyk called it a selective process that leaves out small to medium-sized businesses and that no startups ever received any money from the fund. As you know, the Chamber launched a program this fall called Small Business Too Big to Ignore. Well, this is a prime example why government isn't listening. Ms. Wynne authorized giving money to companies that actually took it and laid people off. In reading some of the interviews and commentary from the Auditor General, she seemed to suspect that some of the chosen companies who received these grants didn't even apply. The government thought they could use the money. Boy, this smells like the old federal sponsorship scandal of years gone by. I think this is what is really upsetting people today, and it's certainly the edge of the cliff for me. How seemingly sincere people running for election first speak about transparency, then talk about fairness, and mostly always promise to listen. Well, those promises just fly out the window once we vote them in. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel this is the most blatant, mismanaged, and incompetent government I have ever been witness to. They have no regard for your money. They have even less regard for your opinion. I have had countless meetings with this government and their staff, and the last thing they're interested in is an opinion that's different from theirs. Well, buckle up. Save as much cash as you can. There's still 2.5 years left of this. I'm Greg DeRocher.